Hey everybody, welcome to DD13, which is one of my favorites, visual persuasion and starting the draft. This is a fun one because you can kind of use some of your creativity to play around with some ideas and get some feedback on them in DD14, so the stakes are kind of low, which is kind of nice from time to time. Also, happy Valentine's Day for those of you who are celebrating this Hallmark holiday. So let's get to work. Okay, so in DD13, there are two homework assignments. The first one is going to be a discussion, and then the second one is going to be the digital poster sketch, and I'm going to give you some tips for how to do this, so bear with me. So let's talk first about the first one. There's a Reading and Writer's Help 2.0, and then I'm asking you to do a basic internet search for what we call visual claims, visual rhetoric, multimodal arguments, or using text and visuals together. You'll probably find a lot of really interesting things. Find two sources and link those to your discussion post. Then I want you to think about what are the considerations that you need to make when using visuals to help you make and support a claim. So what design choices need to be made based on your type of poster? What considerations do you need to make for those who use screen readers? So for instance, captioning images is critical these days when you're working in web design or infographic development, because there are many readers who might be using a screen adapted technology to read and process what you've created. So think about that too. And then you're going to respond to two people and then reflect back on yourself. Okay. And then the second part, the digital poster sketch. This is where you're going to kind of just present an outline of your ideas and where you think things might go. So this can be very drafty. It's called a draft for a reason, or sketch here. But I want to give you two ideas. So if you're working on an infographic and you click on this link here for here are some examples, it's going to take you here to Pictochart's blog series on visual design. And I want to direct your attention to the 6 outline templates that they recommend. So if you scroll down about halfway, you'll see an infographic about infographics. So this is a layout cheat sheet, and it offers 6 potential ideas for thinking about the flow of information that you want to present to your audience. So keeping your claim in mind, you want to think, how do I best want to share this research in a visually engaging way with others? So the useful bait is, this one here is a really good strategy for almost any data visualization or visual argument, because it starts with the idea that information is in rectangular chunks, because we in Western English Roman alphabetic texts, we read from left to right and top to bottom. So it's a very easy way to kind of digest information. So you chunk it out, right? Just like you would with headers and subheaders in a text-based document. Here, versus and comparison is if you're looking at like claims or counterclaims or two potential proposals to an issue, that can be a really nice way to do that, is to think of in terms of columns. Heavy data. This is good for some of you who are doing more work with heavy data, that are sharing studies, sharing findings from certain research projects. Here's the spokes of a wheel that can break out. Here's kind of a flowchart idea. Here you could put numbers and then explain what those numbers mean. This is a roadmap, so that's really good if you're thinking about process or journey. So if you're thinking about like steps to improving awareness of X, that could be a really good one. Timeline is good for thinking linearly. If you're thinking in terms of time, how long is it going to take for something to be implemented, for instance, or what's the history of something? And then a visualized article. This one here is if you have a lot of text. So you see how the text is always broken up and it follows a Z pattern. That's a way that can kind of break up heavy blocks of information. So if you're doing an infographic, I love those 6 ideas. I think they'll be really helpful for you. And you can also start building it in Pictochart or easily and just include placeholders or boxes, kind of like the blog does here. So that's if you're doing an infographic. If you're working on a slideshow or a website, you'll want to create a storyboard, which is basically just a series of boxes with some pictures and text in them to show kind of the progress of information. So if you click on how to make a storyboard for video, that's going to bring you to this. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. The non-artist guide to storyboarding marketing videos is going to take you here. And if you scroll down, it gives you some ideas for storyboarding in in Google Presentation. I don't know if I love that idea. It seems a little difficult to draw in that, but they do give you 2 other ideas for storyboarding. One is Storyboard That, which I found out you can log in with your UA email and access 2 free storyboards a week if you want to try that. And the other one is if you scroll all the way down, this company, the Video Marketing Institute, has put out an internal storyboarding template that's available for everyone. So if you click on that link, it takes you to this document, which you can save and edit if you have Adobe Acrobat, or print and actually just draw yourself. It has the frames here and a short little space for you to describe what you're doing. So there are 9 boxes here. You can obviously print out more copies if you need it, and then you could just take pictures of it and upload that for your assignment. And so that's basically it. Then you're going to post it to Eli Review, and I'll put you guys in groups after midnight tonight. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks!